Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee, and inside of the Meadowview Marriott Conference Resort and Convention Center. If you're just joining us, glad to have you along for the ride. Gabriel Shry, Walt Ferber, and a really good one in store between the defending national champions, Freed Hardeman University and the Lions, who are 8-1 this season, and the IUE Red Wolves, Indiana University. They are 4-1. This is going to be a really good one. Freed Hardeman has won 4 in a row. Indiana University has won their last. Some thoughts on this electric matchup?
Well, it's like, it's like deja vu all over again. We have another great matchup. We had one in our last contest with Union Commonwealth at Oakland City University, and that is happening certainly again today with this one as the lineup's being introduced on the floor right now. For Freed Hardeman, they are being led by Peyton Law at 18.5 points a game, but they have 4 players in all that are in double figures. Lane at 12.3, Stevens at 11.6, and 11 points for Nikkei Vassell. For Indiana University East, they're having a good year themselves, and they have Johnson. Johnson for IUE seems like he's been around about 100 years. He is averaging 19.5 points per game. Antoine Allen at 16.2, 13.4 for Billups, and Ajabi at 11.3. There's balance on both teams. Both teams can fill it up. And we have another, I think, too close to call matchup for our second matchup of the day today.
Should be a really good one. Excited to have everybody along for the ride and hope you're enjoying the action.
I think our cameraman today, as we get started, probably the best point guard in the River States Conference. Injured this year, Jalen Mullen out of North Davies High School. Good to have you, Jalen.
And the violation down along the edge of the hardwood. Ball will go the other way.
Johnson has been a solid member of IU East, which is from Richmond, Indiana. But he's got a lot of help around him. Now. But Johnson gets on a stretch. He's like Hunter Johnson was in the last game.
Antoine Allen dished it away quickly. This is Billups. Heavily defended by the Lions. Pulling up from 3, and the violation, he got a piece of his hand. Jake Johnson draws the whistle.
Well, he tore it up in this tournament last year. You saw him play extremely well. And that is what IU East wants to do, is get Johnson to the free throw line, where he is an 82% free throw shooter. And that was, once again, the announcer, Hex. And I will tell you, there's a whole lot of people that are glad Jake Johnson is a senior. Transfer from Bethel out of West Harrison, Indiana. Got a nice crowd today.
This goes as well, and it is a great turnout. Not too late to join us if you're within driving distance. $10 gets you in the door. Great day for the whole family.
How in the world could you get this much basketball fun for $10?
Never.
That does not seem possible.
Never. Freed Hardeman, the defending national champions. Entry pass down along the baseline. The Lions hand off in the corner. He's in trouble. Gets it away. Driving floater goes. Great ball by Jameer, the junior from Evansville.
As Nixon gets the first bucket there. That was a heck of a drive to the bucket.
And the response right away pushes the lead. 5-2, a three-point advantage 90 seconds into the game.
You got a feeling we could see a lot of points in this one.
Freed Hardeman Lions. Dished back outside. McLaren didn't keep it for long. The drive, the shot, floater won't go.
Good use of the shot fake, but rolled around and out.
Red Wolves run the floor. Johnson. Down along the block. Jewell tries it off the glass and boarded up by the big guy, Peyton Law. Former Calhoun Yellow Jacket in North Georgia. Freed Hardeman. Down along the arc, driving to the baseline, under the basket, in trouble. From alongside the low block, can't get it to go.
Both teams kind of like a heavyweight fight here where they're feeling each other out.
Freed Hardeman, wide open lane, and the elevator is open for business for Peyton Law.
A coast-to-coast slam for Freed Hardeman. Peyton Law with a bucket.
Driving down the floor, this one rattles and goes in response for Antoine Allen, the sophomore from Dayton, Ohio. We are up and running in Kingsport.
The answers are coming quickly, certainly in this one. Allen, his first 2 points, and 3 IU East Red Wolf players have scored.
Freed Hardeman from the corner for 3. This one clatters off the glass and is loose and fought away by Indiana University. The Red Wolves out to the straightaway. Johnson didn't keep it for long. Billups doesn't like all the pressure. Back to Johnson. Jake sidesteps a defender. Wide open look from three-point land. This one is buried by the Red Wolves. Allen gets it to go.
And Allen, the little demonstrative, gave it a kiss, and that's exactly what he did on the shot.
Allen has been very good so far this season, averaging almost 17 per game. This is off the mark for Freed Hardeman. The response, Red Wolves, Jake Johnson slows it up for just a moment. Allen sidestepping defenders, driving, spinning, blockered away, and Freed Hardeman comes down with it.
Way to defend the post by Freed Hardeman.
The senior from Eagleville, Tennessee. Dish to Peyton Law. The Calhoun man, spinning, turning around, firing. The floater goes. Easy, automatic. It's a 4-point game.
And it's heating up. IU East, those look very solid offensively out of the gate.
Holding on to it. Floated down to the baseline. Blown tire as the Red Wolves can't quite keep it on the floor.
That was a great idea, but just a little bit too much powder in the cannon on that pass. As the composite floor here, I like the composite floor. I walked it last night after the games were finished, and it does have a little more cushion than I'm used to with the hardwood, which I think is a good thing. Well, the bad things is you get a little more slipperiness to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and probably part of it is it doesn't have that epoxy on it.
Yes, that's
probably
a big
almost
part.
all of it. Peyton Law off the mark. Freed Hardeman keeps it going. 10-6 right now, Lions. This one off the mark as well. Indiana University comes down with it. IUE down inside, driving his way to the rack. Can't ladle it in. 5 minutes into this game, Freed Hardeman. Lions try it. This one off the mark as well as we get the violation.
Great interior defense by IU East. The IU family of I don't know the word I'm looking for, affiliates, is very strong in the River State Conference. You've got IU East in Richmond, Indiana, IU Kokomo, and IU Southeast, the Grenadiers in New Albany, Indiana. All very strong members of the River States Conference.
Satellite campuses?
Yes.
Really, really good.
I actually took my freshman lit class at the IU Southeast campus at New Albany. My first year back from IU in Bloomington.
10-6, long ball from the corner. Red Wolves can't drop this. To respond, Freed Hardeman, Lions trying to go up top, open for business. He gets this to go.
That's called powering through to get the bucket. And then that is Nixon that put it in. Peyton Law leading Freed Hardeman with 6 points so far, 5 for Antoine Allen for IU East. Teams have cooled off a little bit in the last several moments.
Toby Billups tries to pass that's outside, and Freed Hardeman sends that into the stands.
You know, you sit on the front row here at Kingsport, you're liable to get a basketball at some juncture. Almost got one at the B court yesterday. And you know where we're at, we got a little elevation. That's not easy to do. Speaking of elevation.
Lions are gone, cleared for takeoff. It's the true freshman who goes all the way to the rack.
Now that was the answer. That is what you call a high probability shot.
Brian Carter, the true freshman from Memphis, Tennessee. High probability is right, and we're equalized at 10. This one dropped in, and it breaks the tie. IUE stays out in front.
Yeah, the answer, once again, by the Red Wolves. Trent Johnson had that one.
13.5 minutes to play in our first half. Great pass back door for Freed Hardeman, and the Lions equalized us for the second time today.
Yeah, they had been not shooting well the last few minutes, so they said, why don't we just take some shots we're pretty sure we're going to hit. Those dunks.
That certainly gets the energy flowing in Kingsport. IUE backing it down through the post. This one blockered away. Freed Hardeman. Look at them up and running.
They could take the lead right here.
Lions for their first lead of the game with 12:59 to go in our first half. It's 14-12.
It's been a game of runs today, and a nice run going on here by Freed Hardeman.
It's our first lead change that puts FHU out in front.
Carter trying to finish this thing out. 4 points so far.
He's averaged 6.1 per game, shoots about 55% from the field. He's gone 60% from the stripe this year. You can see that on that trip.
A little bit of a low trajectory free throw shot.
Red Wolves pitch this across the floor from just inside of the arc. This one knocked down by IUE, and we're tied for a third time.
Good job stepping up by Jake Johnson. Had the three, just decided to take a little drop step down and get the nice 10-footer on the baseline.
7.5 minutes gone in our first half between Freed Hardeman's Lions and the Red Wolves of IUE. Gabriel Schreiwald-Ferber, Southeast Sports Network College Hoops, coming to you live from Kingsport, Tennessee, inside of Meadowview Marriott Conference Resort and Convention Center. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
And you pulled it off impeccably. I could not have done that.
There's a sign. I cheat every time. I have to look at the sign.
You got it. That's good.
Red Wolves.
You take them when you can.
Fall apart down low, but Freed Hardeman can't capitalize. IUE to respond.
Red Wolves trying to retake the lead here.
Ashton Johnson, the sophomore from Fort Payne, gave it to Jake, the senior. Back over to Toby Billups, junior from Connorsville. IUE pitches this across the floor. Johnson, three ball is short. It might have been touched.
I think it was.
But the putback is cleaned up down low by Terrell Jewell.
Just give Johnson an assist on that, as Jewell definitely cleaned it up underneath.
Sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio. He's a product of Garfield Heights High School. It's a big high school. Violation. Back near the front court. Carter turns this over.
That is only the second turnover for Freed Hardeman. 4 turnovers for IU East, a relatively turnover-free game to this point in time.
Inbounding feed. IUE 16-14. And another violation.
They said he was out of bounds there on the sideline. So you can put the Red Wolves up to their 5th turnover.
Red Wolves are out in front. We've seen 2 lead changes, 3 ties. We're almost 9 minutes through our first half. In some danger, Freed Hardeman around the world. Lane to the straightaway. Lions rim it out.
How many of those have we seen today that are all the way down? Looks like it's going to go and pop back out.
IUE. Johnson dishes this side of the floor. He knocks it down. Toby Billups, unlimited range.
Johnson doesn't seem to care about the tight rims, though.
Unaffected. A 5-0 run right now for IUE and the Red Wolves.
And they have a 5-point lead from 14-14 to 19-14.
Freed Hardeman one of that. Lions to the elbow. Banging around. Looking to the close side of the floor. Freed Hardeman trying to buy some space. Riley drives his way to the glass and kisses it home.
Riley did that all by his lonesome there. Shaking and baking and getting to the rack.
3 ball off the mark. It's just wide. Kisses off the front of the rim. Freed Hardeman Lions. They trail by just 3 to the Red Wolves. Pitched from the baseline out front. Riley, oh goodness, what range that was.
Yeah, had a little bit too much juice on that. That was a hard ball to rebound.
Trying to pull it in quickly and fire it right away. Toby Billups now to respond. Billups nails this from range and pads the lead. It's 22-16 with 9.5 to play in our first half from Kingsport. Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee, and inside of the Meadowview Marriott Conference Resort and Convention Center. 22-16, a dime piece 3 right before the break.
Momentum now with the Red Wolves and tickling the twine on that last 3-point shot for IU East.
Driving, Freed Hardeman tries the floater and picks up the violation on the edge of the block. What great officiating we've had. Boy, talk about an announcer's jinx. We're going to get some bad calls now, but we've had great officiating this entire tournament.
I think these guys are so good, I can't even screw them up. And that's pretty good.
They've done a really nice job, every crew we've had so far.
And, well, you know, you got 30 of the best teams in the country here, 22 men, 8 women. And you have the best NAIA officiating crews in the country, in my estimation, here doing it too. It has been a pleasure. When you don't notice them, they're doing really, really solid work.
IUE from mid-range off the mark. This one over the baseline and will go to Freed Hardeman. And Jake has some words to the official on the baseline.
He's going to go into politics. I think he would be good. Wasn't raising his voice, just explaining the situation on how he viewed it happen. But I think it's still going to be Freed Hardeman's basketball.
I don't think the official will be turning it over.
No. I have never seen an official go, you know, you're right. I screwed that one up. We're going to give it back to you.
I feel like I might have seen that recently and I was shocked, but it was very calm. It wasn't shouting. I've never seen somebody scream at an official and they're like, you know what, you're right. We'll reverse that. Good call. Set onto the floor by the Red Wolves. They'll run the action. Antoine Allen. Allen from the straightaway. Dished it to Jake Johnson. Blown tire. Allen fighting his way into the block. Tries for the layup. Still loose. IUE stays with it. And now over the baseline as the ball will stay with the Red Wolves.
That is a great attack of the bucket. I like the move by Antoine Allen. A good rebound there. And 19 on the shot clock. Another pop.
Violation. Second for McLaren. First personal for him. Toby Billups checks in with Coach Mark Hester.
Allen misfires there. His first free throw of the ball game.
Hester is in his 14th year with the program, running the Red Wolves basketball team. 303 career wins entering the weekend. He guided their transition from club sports to NAIA membership back in 2007, and the athletic program has grown significantly. They now feature 11 varsity sports.
Yeah, it's a well-ran program, too.
Hester's assisted by Tyler Rigby and Shane Hillard. Freed Hardeman wanted the three, trailing by 5. Backdoor feed off the glass. This goes with a little kiss. Nice play down inside by Mackay.
Well, he got down, made a nice turn, shielded himself from the defender, and scored it impressively.
Freed Hardeman back in the top 25 again this year after winning the national championship. And the Lions looking to set the tone this weekend in Kingsport. Wide open. Billups can't knock it down, off the mark.
A little bit cold now by the Red Wolves.
Lane tries to hand this off. Battling inside is Riley. From the straightaway, this one skiffs off the side of the iron, and a battle for it in the corner of the floor.
Momentum is turned back to Freed Hardeman. As if that three would have gone, it would have tied the contest back up. And they are going to hold on to the basketball. Hockey line change.
I guess, wholesale. 22-19, still very close. This is a great instant classic we've got coming.
That is. And you know what? We have these all day long today. If you're in the area, still time to get out there. It's the best entertainment I think I've ever seen.
We've got 16 games left between the two floors. Driving, firing, floater off the glass, doesn't go. Here we go. Red Wolves driving. Allen floats it across. No one there to scoop that up as it sails beyond the corner and off of the floor.
I think Johnson thought he was going to zig, and the pass kind of zagged.
Freed Hardeman Lions. They're led by Drew Stutz. 6th season at the helm, 109 wins entering the weekend. Lane, the second team All-Mid-South selection, returning after setting the program's single-season field goal percentage record at 65% last year.
Scoop in the score by Stephan, and it gets it back to 1.
A 7-3 run right now for the Freed Hardeman Lions.
Neither team able to get a lot of distance in this game.
Ball's loose. Freed Hardeman somehow finesses this forward to Dean. The true freshman ladles this up. It rattles all around and can't rim in. Dean will try again. Fed across to Carter. He's going to battle his way down into the block, and the violation called for as Jake Johnson throws his hand up.
You don't see that happen very often anymore. I like it when they do that. That's the old school. That's the old school in me. You used to have to put your hand up when you got the foul.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I'm a big fan of these types of programs, and these are lunch pail programs, high character guys out on the floor. 15, Jordan Stevens. Spin move, stopped along the edge of the block, tries to rifle a pass across the floor, and it goes off.
Been a relatively turnover-free contest. 4 turnovers for Freed Hardeman and 7 for IU East.
Jake Johnson will get us going again.
As I said, River State Conference foes are going to be really, really happy he graduates this year. He has been a thorn in a lot of team sides for a long, long time.
Antoine Allen floats it to the corner. Able to hold on to the ball. Trying this, and it's taken away by Freed Hardeman. They trail by just 1. Knifing his way down inside, and the violation on the contact.
So close. Antoine Allen was trying to get the position, but a little bit off. And I think he may have been inside the cylinder.
That'll be our 3rd lead change as Freed Hardeman keeps the run going. Seeking to make it a 10-3 run.
We got another 5:36. We could see a couple of those yet in the first half, a couple of more.
And he does make it a 10-3 run as the lead is pushed to a possession. 3 ties, 3 lead changes, 5.5 to go in our first half. Freed Hardeman and IUE. Red Wolves. Trent Johnson fires from the elbow off the mark.
Hurried that one just a little bit.
Peyton Law hauled it in. The former Calhoun Yellow Jacket dishes it. Freed Hardeman Lions in trouble. Ball loose along the baseline. They get it back in the corner. FHU, the pull-up from three-point land, too much on it.
A lot of gray shirts there for the rebound.
Red Wolves, Toby Billups. Trent Johnson floats it across to Jake Johnson. IUE inside, that's Sales.
Went over the head of Ashton Johnson. Jake Johnson had flashed to his spot on the baseline and actually had an open look there.
Freed Hardeman. Dean handed it off. Back across by Brian Carter. Fought it through. Blake Dean, true freshman, wants to take the elevator. Freed Hardeman stays with it. Lions off the glass and the violation down inside. 4:20 to play in our first half.
We got a lot of close charges. As it was pretty good position. But a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play for Freed Hardeman. Freed Hardeman also using a deep rotation as 3 more substitutes come into contest. And the 3-point play is finished.
26-22. Freed Hardeman extends their lead. The largest of the afternoon.
Like their full court pressure.
Johnson gets it right back from Jake. Tries this, low post off the mark. Freed Hardeman pulls it in.
Those shots are not falling. They were falling earlier.
FHU cooking with gas as he ladles it in off the glass. 29-22.
That was a quick turnaround in this contest.
That's right. It's now a 15-3 run for the Freed Hardeman Lions with just under 4 to play in our first half. 29-22.
And that was on Roddy McLean, as he has just picked up it was on Jason Nixon, just picked up.
Up the floor, mid-range, off the mark. IUE, another chance with it.
They can't buy a bucket right now.
3 ball, this one too much on it, you're right. The price is sky high for the Redwolves. Jake Johnson sidesteps, fires, nothing.
Even Jake Johnson not hitting.
They need help. 1-800-HELP. Freed Hardeman. Intercept. What a play by Trent Johnson behind the back. Tries to go off the glass and still can't buy the bucket.
You know you're having a hard time when you make that good a play and you still can't get it to go.
And the jam, but all the energy sucked out of it as we get the whistle from the baseline before he can make it.
Ashton Johnson, the one that was called on that personal foul.
That's Coach Hester.
It's interesting to watch the teams as you see another one of our teams heading over to Court B where they're going to be playing.
Back underway. Ashton Johnson running the floor. From the straightaway, this one is buried by Jake Johnson, the senior from West Harrison, Indiana. Gets the lid off of the basket.
I figured he might be the one that opens things up, as he is up to the second leading scorer with 7.
Won't go. Fighting for the ball. Maurer got it going down the floor. Pitched out front off the glass. This rattles and drops. Good play down inside by McLaren.
You want to talk about a tight window on that pass. He drilled it with mustard in the only place he could, and Jewell put the biscuit in the basket.
Fed down inside, and Freed Hardeman is cleared for takeoff. Peyton Law jams it with 2 minutes to play in our first half. 31-27 is the advantage of Freed Hardeman's Lions, a 4-point game.
Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Back in Kingsport, Tennessee. 31-27 inside of 2 minutes to play.
Freed Hardeman jacking up the defense here.
IUE. This one, the floater won't go. Blown tire, Freed Hardeman pitches it across.
Oakland City Sports Information Director David Hose made an excellent play on that. He's still got the moves.
Big time play. 95 seconds to go in this first half. Freed Hardeman cooking with gas. They have stormed back, put themselves in great position. Really, really nice first half of play from Freed Hardeman. They let up an early lead, and IUE just couldn't hang on to it in the face of the defending national champs.
It's gone back and forth, though, and there's still 95 seconds left. It's still time for the Red Wolves to answer. These are fun. These are games that are going virtually the entire 80 minutes. And great defensive pressure. Games are conference championships, and championships in general are won by defense. And just about everybody in here, we've seen some great defense both days by a lot of these teams. There has not been what you would call any run and gun score with no pressure baskets out. As they're taking a look, I think it's something the officials are.
See if we can't spy on him with a crowd mic. No spying to be done. We'll play on. Pitched on. Red Wolves. Caleb Maurer. The handoff, IUE. Thrown across. Entry pass by Jake Johnson off the glass. That goes for Terrell Jewell.
Aptly named there, as that was a jewel of a shot, as he is now 3 of 4 from the field, which means he's shooting 75%. And in a game of turnarounds, Jewell can get it back to a 1-point game here.
Jewell rattles this and it goes. That's exactly what he does. 1 point separates the Red Wolves and the Lions. Mackay walked up the floor. FAU loses it to IUE.
Hey, Red Wolves could take the lead with the bucket here in a game of changed momentum.
Ashton Johnson hands it off, pitched across to Jake Johnson. Stops near the straightaway. Jameer intercepted by Freed Hardeman. Lions, the violation as he streaks up the floor, and Jake Johnson just hanging on.
Yeah, sometimes there's such a thing as a good foul. If Johnson doesn't give that foul, that's going to be a flush, a posterization, or any number of adjectives that you would like to put with it. And it was also big because the Red Wolves had a chance to take the lead down on that last possession. As it is here, we have Freed Hardeman may be able to put a little space out there.
Rattles, won't drop. 31-30. IUE. 24 shot clock, 42 game. Johnson loses it for a moment, tries the entry pass, and over the baseline.
A knocked last touch by Freed Hardeman.
Pitched onto the floor, around the arc. Down low, just inside of three-point land. IUE knocks it down, and they're back in front, 32-31. It's our fourth lead change.
Antoine Allen got set up on the baseline, had nobody in the vicinity, and took a shot and hit it. That was the only time they ever let me take a shot.
A 10-2 run underway for the Red Wolves, and the violation with 5.7 to play. in our first half.
Yeah, that lead could swing back again with a couple of free throws shot here if they make them.
The first goes at the line.
We get the tie back there.
That's our fourth tie.
Cool as the late great Stuart Scott said, cool as the other side of the pillow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's as cool as like Kenny Loggins' music.
Yes. Oh,
that's a deep cut for a 30-year-old, isn't it?
You've impressed me in many ways this weekend.
Jake Johnson off the inbound, 3 seconds. Inside, trying this, and it rattles out on the IUE Red Wolves. So it remains 33-32 after one half of action in Kingsport between these two. We have a barn burner in our hands. 5 lead changes, 4 ties. Any quick thoughts before our break?
This is fun. This is why this tournament is so great. 2 great teams, and they're knocking the heck out of one another.
An instant classic, 33-32 at the half. Freed Hardeman out in front of the Red Wolves.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at sesnsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere. Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
The story of the United States has been written for centuries. Penned by millions of authors, written in every language, from every perspective. With every chapter as unique as our people and our land. Our story is one made up of many. Find yours in the USA.
more than 500 cascading waterfalls, the endless echo of more than 10,000 caves, the serene silence of 1,000 miles of wilderness trails. The next time someone tells you to get lost, consider it an opportunity. Your vacation is now playing in Tennessee.
At the Salvation Army, a shelter isn't just a place to rest. It's a chance to shed layers, let loose, and finally let it go. With your gift, a warm bed is just the beginning. It's the first night of a new day. When our homeless neighbors feel safe enough to close their eyes, they can see the way forward.
A truck is a tool, but a ram is life. Yeah, it's the wipe the sweat off your brow sort of life. But it's also the let's load up the ATV's life. The my kids play way too many sports life. The let's find a secret spot to fish life. That looks nice. Innovations, comforts, and powertrains built to power all the lives you live. Ram.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire Tablet with just a few clicks.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee, and inside of the Meadowview Marriott Conference Resort and Convention Center, Southeast Sports Network College Basketball. Reed Hardeman Lions out in front by 33-32, doing battle with Indiana University East. The Red Wolves are really good one on our hands.
Every time we thought somebody was going to grab control of the game, the other team basically came back, and it looked like Freed Hardeman was going to maybe get a little space toward the end of the half, but that did not happen. And, you know, the one thing I go, the longer we go, I think the less I know, because, you know, you figure one team is going to go out and the other team battles back. That talks about, one, how good the competition is here, and two, it also talks about the fact that these are important ball games. This is not a tune-up tournament. Some places you go and these holiday classics are tune-up tournament. This is not a tune-up tournament. We have the best teams in the country here, and you know what? I love this. I've been associated with NAIA sports now for the last 3 years, and I've learned a lot. And I've learned that the caliber of the play is extremely good, and you get some of the best talent in the country in the NAIA. And this is an opportunity for these teams to shine on the national stage. You, with your network, have provided a national audience for all these teams, and there's going to be more eyes on these guys, and ladies too, because there's 8 teams here. There's going to be more eyes on these folks than are going to be until we get to the NAIA tournament. So they're putting on a show, and there's floor burns and bruises, and you know, you get down to the wire, and there's a reason that virtually every one of these games has gone down to the wire, and that's the one factor in this is big time. And I don't know what the heck to expect in the second half. It was a game of runs back and forth and back and forth. Heck, our last game, we had Oakland City University, the underdog, fight back and forth, and it looked like they were down, and they had a shot to win the doggone thing. So I know it's going to be a very entertaining 20 minutes coming up, and I'm looking forward to sitting here with you and our outstanding SEN team that are working hard today.
Yeah, it's been a really good day of coverage, and really enjoying everything we've seen so far. We do have another game going on right now, also on the Southeast Sports Network. Northwestern is way out in front of the Bluefield Rams. One of the only blowouts we've seen in this tournament. We did see a couple of women's blowouts yesterday, but Northwestern right now, the Raiders handling Bluefield, so they'll look to keep that interesting. They're in the second half, more than halfway through at 9.5 to play over there. We're at 69-28. This is a barn burner right here. I mean, this is an instant classic in the making.
You need to have, and I listened to you. I'm coachable. You need to have two screens out there. And we were talking earlier, and I love what you're doing with the network. You are getting great college basketball and great sports overall. You guys do. I thought I did everything over the years, but you guys cover everything on SESN, and you do it, and it is brought in such a way that you're not paying umpteen dollars a month like you would pay for about any of the other sports streams. You're doing this and letting people watch it absolutely free.
No, and there's philosophy to that, and I debated whether or not to bring that up during this tournament because I know there's a lot of ADs as Jake Johnson knocks that down and people from around the country that are trying to decide what the landscape of media looks like for the future of their programs. You know, we have a Midwest sports network as well that doesn't do a lot of in-person coverage. It does a lot of online coverage. Frieda Hardeman takes that down and drops it home. But really the thing with SESN is this is a free way to watch sports, which is basically non-existent in 2024 going into 2025. And as people get nickel and dimed by these networks, they're going to start deciding what to drop and what to keep. Frieda Hardeman Lions, that one cleared for takeoff. Peyton Law, the junior from Calhoun, Georgia, gets it to go, and it's 37-34, the lead in the hands of the Lions of Frieda Hardeman.
Yeah. Back and forth this is going. Still a very, very tight game.
But that network conversation, you know, people are trying to decide, what do I want to pay for? What am I willing to pay $10, $15, $20 a month for? SESN is free. So if you're a small school, you're not somebody who's driving a ton of numbers, it's going to be able to pick up some money off of that. Make it free and make your money in other ways. Build your audience. Build your base of people who support your athletic programs.
I have been dealing with an advertised-based media for 50-some-odd years.
Hey, radio guy, you know what I'm talking about.
It is the way to go.
This one off the glass. Frieda Hardeman tries to clean it up. FHU Lions keep it alive from down low, and now the violation.
And just as we get back into the action here, is one thing. The industry has changed so much. As I told you before, I've redefined myself like 5 times. And at 68, I'm learning the landscape as it's changing again and again. And this is the most exciting time to be associated with broadcast college sports that there's ever been.
Some things are good about it. Some things are bad. We've got a 5-point game in Kingsport, Tennessee, 39-34.
Want to watch your favorite Southeast teams in action? We've got you covered. Stream live games and highlights on YouTube, Twitch, Amazon Fire TV, Stream TV, and more. For all the details, visit our How to Watch page at SESNsports.com. It's your one-stop guide to catching every play, every time, wherever you are. The Southeast Sports Network, bringing the game to you anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. A minute and a half into our second half where it's 40-34. Frieda Hardeman padding that lead.
Hey, it would be a little more if they were hitting their free throws. 6-12, and that one goes by the boards too. You got to do better than 46.2% from the free throw line.
You just have to find a way to be a bit more efficient. Lets this go from range, and that's off the mark. 6-point differential.
Jake Johnson, one of the better shooters I've seen in the River States Conference and in the NAIA. But I think his legs may be getting a little tired. They've been playing at a fevered pitch, and Johnson has played about all of the minutes.
Frieda Hardeman's on an 8-2 run dating back to our first half. We've seen 7 lead changes. 4 ties. FHU pitches this outside. Lions. 3 ball. This one rattles out. Battled for by IUE. Pitched outside. Red Wolves to the corner. This one rattles and won't go for Blake Dean, the true freshman from Nashville.
Good ball movement, but those shots are not falling by either team.
Down inside, battles this in the low block, and it rolls off for the Red Wolves.
You can tell both these teams have been to the weight rooms. They are strong.
Jake Johnson down low off the glass, staying with it, battling for it is Antoine Allen. This one rustling the twine, and now the violation is there is a street fight down in the paint.
Ends up being a jump ball. You know, you looked at that and all the opportunities was there. It looks like there's a lid on that basket. Not that time, though. A strong drive to the bucket. And the lead is up to 8 points for Freed Hardeman. 16:29 left here in this one.
Long ball clatters off the front of the iron. FHU pulls it down.
Thought there was some contact, I thought, but no foul called there.
Mackay pitched it down low. Flight number 2, you are cleared for takeoff.
And as I said earlier, when they ain't falling, you go for the higher probability shots.
Higher probability is right.
That's a double-digit advantage. I don't think we had a double-digit advantage for Freed Hardeman. I know it was up there close, but normally the way the pendulum has swung in this contest, when it gets out there a little bit, the other team is ready to push their momentum.
First goes, IU needs that point. Just 3 points dating back to the final minute of the first half, rather. This rims and goes.
Allen gets it a little bit closer, down to an 8-point lead.
Peyton Law handed it off. Law pitched it towards the corner, and the 3 ball is buried by the Lions. 47-36. They're out in front by 11.
The big answer, and you got squared up and knocked that down from downtown.
So dating back to the final minute of that first half, a 15-4 run for Freed Hardeman's Lions. The response, IUE can't get it, and it's sent off the floor as the ball will go with FHU.
Freed Hardeman, they're steady. They have just put steady pressure on, and they have an opportunity to lengthen this one out.
Blake Dean pitched it away, gets it right back.
You know, there's a reason Freed Hardeman is 9-1 coming into this. They have beaten a lot of good teams.
They're unbelievable. Moving it all around. Phil Horton wants to go himself. Red Wolves get the ball.
Good rebounding on both teams. Johnson coming out with a big win for the team from Richmond, Indiana.
Johnson, Jake Johnson, and FHU getting handsy.
Each game has gotten a little more contentious down the line as Blake Dean got it tied up on that one there. Red Wolves do need a bucket here.
14.5 to play, 47-36.
Brian Carter picking up the personal foul there. That is his second personal foul. Still not shooting him yet. Antoine Allen puts it into play.
Trent Johnson pitched it away. Red Wolves lose it. Jake Johnson was able to keep it just long enough. IUE from the corner for three. Air ball boarded up by FHU.
Not quite set by Toby Billups.
Great feed to the corner. This is short and gathered up by Billups right away. Long outlet pass to Jake Johnson. Set back door, and IUE finishes it off, making it a 9-point single-digit game.
Good spacing, a good flash to the bucket. That's highlight reel basketball there.
Inside of 14 to go in our second half. Wide open, short.
Get one here, that would be 2 buckets in a row.
Red Wolves send it long. IUE battling inside. This rolls all around before it drops in.
Antoine Allen now. 3 of 9 from the field for the day. And it's back to 7.
3 ball for Freed Hardeman. 47-40. 4-0 run put together by IUE's Red Wolves. Freed Hardeman looking to snap it. And down low, the whistle. Seven minutes gone in our second half.
It may be, this may come down to the bench. Both teams have played a lot of players today. Each team has played 9.
This one goes quickly for Freed Hardeman as Blake Dean, the true freshman out of Ezel Harding Academy, gets to go.
Dean now with 5 on the day, 5 on the afternoon.
49-40.
With all these games, sometimes I have to look at my watch to see if it's morning or afternoon or evening.
I don't know what time it is. Don't tell me. No windows, no time.
But when you're watching this great college basketball, time kind of stands still. And that's a good thing.
I just want to be surprised when it's the last game of the day. 12.5 to go in our second half in a 9-point contest. Freed Hardeman in the lead, in charge.
You know, your network is doing 32 games in 3 days.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Red Wolves from the corner for 3. This is off the mark, clattered off the heel of the iron. IUE tries again. This one kisses in and out. Now the violation down along the baseline.
They cannot get one to fall from outside.
Feels like IUE can't buy a bucket right now. We've seen that dating back to the first half.
And they're running into what their parent university had happen in their holiday tournament.
The Hoosiers.
That's still kind of painful. My alma mater did not have, aside of winning the last game, did not have a good week.
12 minutes, 7 seconds left to play in our second half between these two. 49-40, Freed Hardeman.
Catch the most thrilling moments from your favorite local teams, only on the Southeast Sports Network. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-winning goals, we bring you all the highlights that make the Southeast the heart of sports. Don't miss out. Tune in anytime, anywhere, and relive the action like never before. The action lives on our YouTube channel, but you can watch highlights many different ways by visiting our website. The Southeast Sports Network, where every play matters.
Back in Kingsport, Tennessee, where it's 49-40, 12:07 to play. Gabriel Schrei, Will Ferber here with me. Glad to have you along for the ride at home, in your car, wherever you are. No watching if you're driving. Glad to have you with us for the action, though. A 9-point game between these two, and Freed Hardeman's Lions are in front of Indiana University East and the Red Wolves right now.
You know, this is a hard-fought contest, and it's a very complex game. I will never learn everything there is to learn about the game of basketball, but sometimes it comes down to being able to get the ball through the hoop. And IUE is doing a lot of good stuff. And they have good three-point shooters on that squad. but they cannot buy one from downtown now. And Freed Hardeman's having a hard time also, but they put a few flushes in there, a few elevated dunks.
Pass down inside. Music went on a little long there.
I love that music underneath us.
Let's keep it playing.
Yeah.
I don't know what song that was. Was that Britney Spears? That's like vintage Britney Spears we were listening to right there.
I'm getting in my wheelhouse there.
Vintage is a hilarious word to describe. It's almost accurate at 2 decades old. 49-40. Pitched outside from the elbow. Cash it in, and Trent Johnson gets a much-needed bucket for IUE.
Tighten it up again. It's back to a 7-point advantage. Vintage is one of the nicer things I've been called.
Pass down to the baseline, off the glass, rattles, goes. Freed Hardeman gets it right back.
Now, that was an excellent shot by Freed Hardeman there, and the good reverse layup.
Entry pass, and the Red Wolves cash that in, but not before the whistle. Terrell Jewell, the sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio. He's averaged almost 9 points per game this season, shooting about 70% from the floor through 3 games entering the tournament.
Now there was another opportunity that Freed Hardeman was looking to try to take the charge. And will be another opportunity for IU East to get it closer. It's down to 7 now. You hit both of these, it could get down to 5. Like his style, like his form.
Moving this all around. Freed Hardeman, backdoor, blockered up at the glass. Great contest by Jewell.
Now that was rejected. No doubt about that by McLaren.
Pumps, elbow, pass down low, backdoor, it rims and won't go. Jewell fighting for it. He keeps it alive for the Red Wolves. Thrown through traffic, pitched across to Ashton Johnson. Takes it up onto the high elbow, pitched out to the wing. Driving, maybe in trouble. Thrown out by Ashton Johnson again to Antoine Allen. IUE the step back, and this goes from range as the shot clock was closing out.
I was going to say the passing in that sequence deserved to have some points, and it finally worked out for IU East, and it's back to a 1-possession game.
Couldn't be closer. 51-48. Freed Hardeman looking to nurse this lead. Backdoor all alone. Ladle it in, young man. You earned it. Peyton Law, great cut to the basket.
Now certainly a nice play there. Gets it back to a 5-point game, and that's what Freed Hardeman's done whenever they have had to have a bucket. Peyton Law with the shot, the assist by Geraldo Lane. At a 5-point differential in this one. Not for long.
Not for long.
Stephen nails that one for Freed Hardeman.
9 minutes to play from Kingsport, Tennessee, where it's a 7-point game, 55-48. Ashton Johnson, stymied, hands it off to Antoine Allen. Backdoor, oh, baby! Jewell, take it home.
Freed Hardeman has had a lot of those, but a high percentage shot there for IU East.
50-55, really no change in the margin. For the last 6 minutes of play, it's been a 5 to 7 point margin. This one goes off the glass, so it's a 7-point game again. And you'll remember in the 13th minute, it was 40-47. Now 50-57.
And a great spin move by Peyton Law that gets us to the timeout, and it's back to a 7-point Freed Hardeman advantage.
Welcome back to Kingsport, Tennessee. There's your officials meeting up. 57-50. The advantage in the hands of FHU.
There's a lot of people, and it's kind of neat to see. They come and chill out, take a little visit to the concession area here, buy a T-shirt or two, come back out and just keep watching ball games. Sometimes it's hard because you can buy all kinds of stuff here.
Are there T-shirts?
Yes.
Why don't we have T-shirts?
I have a T-shirt. I love T-shirts.
Well, you and I got to get Ken to give us T-shirts. Ken. Ken, where's my T-shirt? Ball skeeters out over the baseline with 8 minutes to play in this one.
I can't complain. Over the last 3 years, Ken has provided me, and the university has provided me with a certain amount of swag, which you have seen some of the last couple of days, because I always wear free stuff.
I'm telling you, that's my entire wardrobe is just T-shirts.
And if somebody gives it to me for free, that's going to go in the heavy rotation.
$3.99. Freed Hardeman. Back out front. Lions driving off the glass. It rattles and drops.
That was smooth. Jordan Stevens with the layup, and that was a highlight reel thing in the neighborhood.
This one drops from range. Good ball, and the 3-ball brings us within 6.
Now the other court's game must be finished. Matter of fact, I know it is because my buddy Colin Dixon has made his way over here to say hello. He's scoring the B court, while David Ho's scoring the A court here.
59-53.
And it doesn't matter. There's great basketball on each court. And Freed Hardeman starting to heat up. Stephen draining that one from the key, top of the key.
Long ball over the top to Jake Johnson. This one from mid-range, rolls, and goes. And they needed that. That keeps this one respectable.
Red Wolves are hanging in the neighborhood.
Indiana University just has to find a way to get a couple of points swing, because this entire second half, I mentioned it a couple minutes ago, been about 7 points.
Yeah, the scoring has been harder. Some of it has been, I think, a little bit in the tired leg department, and some of it's been the defense has been really, really good.
Tired leg department sounds familiar. I think I've got tired legs.
That's why you have not seen me out of this cushioned chair very often today.
So with 13 minutes to play, it was a 7-point game. With 8 minutes and 20 seconds to play, it was a 7-point game. And with 6 minutes and 14 seconds, it's a 7-point game.
Yeah, looks like you're going to have a foul called on IU East. That's Billups picking up a foul that's kind of crucial for the Red Wolves. That's his third. Free throws. Freed Hardeman needs to hit them better than they have. I think they would say that. They are 6 of 13, 46.2%. And they're pulling everybody off the line. I did not see what it was. I'm guessing it has to be a flagrant.
Well, I've heard it's personal. Jake Johnson, if you can't hear him on the hot mic, it's personal right now between IUE and Freed Hardeman. It feels personal. They're playing with class, though. I mean, we haven't seen anything scrappy or dirty or grimy. It's been very classy, clean basketball.
But that means we're going to have some nitty-gritty.
We're going to have some electric finish here. 9-point game, 6 minutes to play. Driving, finishing at the glass. He can't drop it in. Boarded up. Trent Johnson gets them started quickly. Here comes Toby Billups. Jake, it's personal. Johnson takes the feed on the wing, drives down to the elbow, floated up top. Trent Johnson wants to fire. Lots of pressure from Freed Hardeman. Johnson off the glass, couldn't get it.
Both sides, they've been good looks by Freed Hardeman and by IU East, and neither one of them went in.
We're alive. McLaren, floater, hook shot goes. What a move.
That one did go in, and that was a great move to the bucket that puts it in a double-digit Freed Hardeman advantage.
And you'll remember we pointed out that 11-point lead last time they had it.
Yeah, it went away. Most of the time I can kind of give a little inkle about what I think is going to happen. I don't have that in this game.
Freed Hardeman, that would have been a dagger.
Yeah, it would have.
IUE needs to find a way to generate just a little swing to get it started.
If that would have been to 14, that would make the degree of difficulty high since we're under 5 minutes.
You don't have to find all 11 points now, but you got to start doing something.
Well, you
Freed
certainly can't let that happen.
No, the cash floater by Jason Nixon, the redshirt freshman out of Brentwood Academy.
And that jumps that thing up to 13, and that is implausible. So you got to start having an explosive amount of points now for IU East.
Jake Johnson, that's short. He needed that. 4.25 minutes to play.
Yeah, that's in the legs. When you come up short every time, that means you're not getting extension in the legs. And they have a right to be tired. This has been a tremendous effort, a gut check time for both teams here.
One, the first goes.
Well, if they would have hit their free throws, it would truly be a no-doubter. They're doing a little better. They're up to 56.3%. At 9 of 16, they were at 46% just a couple of minutes ago. So the door is open just a little bit for the Red Wolves.
Jake Johnson with 4 to play. 14-point game. IUE. Antoine Allen dicing his way down inside of the arc. Floated back up to Jake Johnson. Red Wolves. Maurer fighting his way down along the sideline. Ball's loose, scooped up by FHU, looking for a put-away bucket. It's Nixon who kisses it off the glass, but it won't go.
That's a microcosm of the game right there.
IUE for 3. Jake Johnson heavily contested. Rattles, rims, falls off.
Close, but no cigar.
69-55. Down low, Freed Hardeman violation with 3:20 to play.
And that is going to be a foul. And that's all the way around a bad thing for Toby Billups. Gets called for the foul. takes the punishment in the head and picks up his 4th personal foul. Mobile and CIU coming up after this one. With game 3 of the day.
Sent way outside. IUE hangs on to it. Toby Billups. Jake Johnson hits the 3.
Took the time. Nice shot fake. Got out, had an open look, and took that extra nanosecond to knock it down.
We'll keep it here and take a look at the schedule for the rest of the day in play in our tournament.
Yeah, when we get finished here, and it is slated to be a 3:45 start. I don't think it's going to be greatly off, but it is going to be a little bit off. Mobile versus Columbia International University. And then our final men's game of the day on conference room or conference court A here will be Milligan versus Life. Then we close out on Court A with a couple of ladies' games. About 7 o'clock, it will be Campbellsville against Faulkner, and at 8:45, Shawnee versus Montreat. Coming up, and it looks like we just finished one over on the other side. Next up, I think, would be St. Francis versus U-Pike, slated for a 3:30 start. Then St. Thomas versus Shawnee at 5:15. At 7, Tennessee Wesleyan University against Georgetown, and a ladies' game to close out Saturday as Georgetown will take on Reinhardt. And 7 games tomorrow between the two courts to close out the show 2024.
Just a couple, and take a look at Kingsport, Tennessee. So much to do, so much to see. Visit kingsport.com.
I'm looking forward to getting down here from southern Indiana, doing a little fishing and having some fun here at Kingsport.
I'm trying to do some golf. I literally have my clubs with me and I haven't gone.
Yeah, when I do this, I know there's...
Freed Hardeman jacks it up and hits it, and it's 74-58. Riley McLaren and the Lions are hitting the gas.
I know when I'm doing 16 games in 3 days, probably it's not going to be a lot of golfing.
No, not a lot.
May go to the 19th hole.
Maybe a little as a treat. A little midnight golf. Glow-in-the-dark balls might work. Spotlight. This one won't drop in. 2 minutes to play. IU East. Dished off, 3-ball this one. Rustles the twine. Riley McLaren, back-to-back shots from range as it's now 77-58.
And this game is going to be closer than the final score will indicate. But we told you coming in that Freed Hardeman is pretty good. 9-1 overall, 5-1 at home, 2-1 away, and 2-0 on a neutral floor. I think in about a minute 48, that's going to be 3-0 on a neutral floor and 10-1.
Freed Hardeman's cooking. Mid-range, dropped.
They're
Pastor
cooking
Johnson.
like that great food that we get to eat here at the resort. I'm going to gain, I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to gain about 10 pounds in the 3 days here. I'm a biscuits and gravy connoisseur, and some of the best.
That's some good
this
biscuits
morning.
and gravy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
77-60, 17-point game. You fit right in Tennessee. About all we talk about is food.
I love Tennessee.
Here's a shot from mid-range, and the buzzer tries again, and this time it goes for FHU, who extends their lead again.
17-point advantage. Talk about retiring in this area. I think this would be a great area to live.
Kingsport's nice. Pitch to IU's Red Wolves from the baseline, back out to three-point land, and he drains it. 79-63 with 41 seconds to play.
Robinson hitting that one, but too little, too late.
So this one's all over but the shouting. Any
Yeah.
quick thoughts on what we saw today from Indiana East and from Freed Hardeman and what they can carry out of this to be better going forward?
Indiana East is going to do some damage. I think they'll be middle to top of the pack, more probably along the middle in the River State Conference. They fought Freed Hardeman hard. Freed Hardeman is really, really good. And we thought that.
Really,
You and I
really
talked
good.
about that, and I believe it now. And they're going to show some class here. That could have been a stuff, but 79-62 appears to be enough.
I don't know if Freed Hardeman is really, really good. Does it justice. They are incredible.
Yeah.
So your final 79-62 for Walt Ferber, for the Red Wolves, for the Lions. I'm Gabriel Schrei. This has been a presentation of college basketball on the Southeast Sports Network.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Schrei Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Schrei Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in.